On today's show, we head over to the UK into the Snetterton circuit in Norfolk for rounds 22-24 of the British Touring Car Championship. 6 rounds remain in the 2020 season, and the title fight is now a 4-way contest, with Tom Ingram throwing his hat into a very crowded ring. Just who'll win remains to be seen. Then we wind back to September last year and head to Winton Motor Raceway in northeastern Victoria, where we look back on the wildly entertaining 3rd round of the 2019 Australian Super Truck Nationals. This is Speedweek.
Round 8 of this year's British Touring Car Championship comes from Snetterton in Norfolk. With just 2 rounds to go this season, the top 3 are as close as ever, with 12 points separating points leader Ash Sutton from Dan Camish and Colin Turkington.
As this huge grid lines up ready for round 22 of the championship, it is Colin Turkington in the BMW on pole position. Watch for the lights, lights on. Out go the lights, Turkington away well. Rory Butcher a little bit recalcitrant. Coming out from behind Rory Butcher is going to be Aidan Moffat, who did a stunning job in the first part of qualifying. But it's Turkington that leads them down into Rich's corner. Tom Ingram up into 2nd place, Jake Hill 3rd, then Dan Camish 4th, and a tag and around goes Tom Oliphant.
Oliphant and Sutton got together, and Sutton looks to have saved it.
Yeah, Sutton right in the pack.
But Ollie Jackson is off and reversing, and Oliphant rejoining. Great start by Turkington, got away on the dry part of the line and was able to move across onto the dry line into the turn 1.
There's Ash Sutton chased by Rory Butcher. Tingram did well as well to get ahead of Jake Hill, and Tingram's putting a move on here as they come down into Agostini. The outside line is not the passing line, or is it? He's trying to hang out on the outside line here as they go around. Jake Hill not quite close enough maybe to go up the inside, or is he? Tingram comes back across, trying to block him, and Jake Hill's going to look up the inside as they come into Hamilton. Hill's through into 2nd but runs wide, and Ingram's back through in the Corolla, back up into 2nd position.
Well, I told you Ingram was going to attack on this first lap. That losing that position to Hill and having to gain it back won't have helped him, but look at his pace. His pace is much quicker. Oh, and up the inside of Sutton comes Rory Butcher. They're going to be side to side onto the straight. But Ingram is absolutely off after Turkington. Watch round this next sequence how much time he gains on him. He's desperate to try and get him before the end of the lap.
He is indeed. There were 3 wide as they came out of Williams, and they're still getting stuck in. Butcher and Ash Sutton really getting stuck in. Ash Sutton on the back end. They were side by side rubbing door handles as they came out of Williams and down the Bentley straight. Adam Morgan got through ahead of them. Here's a look at the start from Butcher.
Oh, a little bit of lag on the start, and Turkington's gone. Here comes Sutton, Oliphant, and also Jackson. Now we'll just see a little bit of a touch, a little bit of bunching there. Well, it was all kicking off there.
Here comes the multi-champion Colin Turkington. Comes out, takes the line here as they come down towards the S. Jake Hill trying to close up again in 3rd position. Camish goes through, then Butcher, Ash Sutton. Sutton's got Adam Morgan right behind him as well.
Yeah, then the 2 Hyundais of Proctor and oh, who's that going slow? That's Aidan Moffat going slowly, I saw in the background. So Aidan Moffat's got a problem.
Carl Boardley getting stuck in and trying to have a go at Sam Osborne. Both of those drivers in the Jack Sears trophy, 2nd and 3rd. Boardley 2nd at the moment in Jack Sears to Bobby Thompson, who's not here this weekend. And this is a home game for Carl Boardley. Sorted out his engine problems from the previous rounds. Across the line goes Colin Turkington. Again from Ingram.
And he's looking a little bit more comfortable on this lap, although the fastest lap went to Jake Hill on that lap. Nearly 3/10 quicker, in fact, than Turkington. So Hill's going to be the one to watch at the moment.
Chris Smiley and Josh Cook engaged in battle here. Smiley's got ahead. into 9th place, but Cook is now looking back down on the inside line. They're chased by Stephen Jelly as well, so Cook managing to get that place back for the BTC Racing Honda.
Yeah, Cook with not much weight on board, only 6 kilos, so his car should be very quick, shouldn't it? Look, Jake Hill is catching up with Ingram.
Yeah, this is going to be good news for Turkington, isn't it? If the two front-wheel drive cars can engage in battle, it'll maybe lose a little bit of time away for the race there. Aidan Moffat, sadly, in the pit lane. Good qualifying from him yesterday. Let's see whether Jake Hill can close the gap down a little bit further. He's 4/10 of a second away from the second position car on that previous lap. Michael Crease coming through on the inside line here, having a look. But going through is the number 3, Tom Chilton, getting stuck in there with Stephen Jelly immediately in front.
Yeah, you got the two BTC Hondas there running together, Chilton and Crease behind Jelly and Smiley.
I was hesitating there because I wasn't expecting to see Tom that far back, to be perfectly honest. We normally expect to see him a little bit further up the order.
Yeah, again, not quite sure why. I mean, Chilton's got 24 kilos of weight on, so a little bit more weight, but nevertheless, there are plenty of heavier cars in front. Look at the concentration. Absolutely in the zone. This is where Colin Turkington is so hard to beat. He's out front, he's in touch with his car, he's dialed in, he's got a couple squabbling over second behind him, and he will just inch his way ahead.
7 points down on Dan Camish in the championship, and at the moment it's 7 points difference between where they are in the places in this race. So it's going to be a complete nail-biter. I know the drivers don't want it, but we want a nail-biter going up into race 2, then into 3 and to Brands.
And now, are you allowing for the point for leading the race?
No.
Point for leading the race.
Good call, Tim. Yeah, so extra point there, and he's going to be looking at fastest lap as well, Colin Turkington. 1:58.445, so Turkington with the fastest lap, and all working out well. Here's the start again.
Yeah, here's a start, and although the boost has been reduced, Turkington still gets a really good launch, doesn't he? Maybe the traction was good off the line there. We're just looking back for the collision. Oh, so much going on. Moffat was having his moment, Oliphant was having his moment.
Turkington on lap 4, 1:58.059, absolutely right, dialing it in, starting to get away, mindful of the points. Now we've got Rory Butcher having a go here at Dan Camish, looks on the inside line here and he gets the run up into the hairpin. Dan Camish has seen him, and Butcher going through.
Yeah, good move there. The track is getting drier and drier, and the lap times are getting faster and faster. And depending on quite how the teams have set the car up, did they go full dry setup or a little bit of a halfway house? But Butcher's car's working well now.
Yeah, good move. And so Dan Camish, second in the championship, is losing a few points there. A little bit of rubbing here with
Glenn and Jack Buttel. Such a shame Jake had those electrical reliability problems earlier in the year, because we know how good that car is, we know how good the team is, we know how good Jake is, and we thought he was going to be right up there right from the get-go in the championship hunt, but lost too many points. Now he comes with an absolute dive. Oh, they're so... Oh, I mean... He made an absolutely committed move to go down the inside. Ingram's not happy, flashing lights. Ingram was very lucky not to be spun all the way around there.
Yeah.
But once he'd made the dive, he couldn't do anything about it. And I mean, I'm not saying Ingram did anything wrong, but you know, he saw that Hill was coming for him, and he's given the position back. Turkington still has that fastest lap. He's lapping 3/4 of a second slower than that now, but in fact on the last lap Ingram and Hill both set their personal best, so they're still getting quicker. There's no tyre degradation at all whatsoever.
That's good to see, and it's going to help them in their course to fend off Rory Butcher, who is still busy trying to close in. A bit further back, Jess Hawkins still up ahead of Ollie Jackson and Glengetty there as well. I tell you what, Jackson's having a fair old workout here, isn't he? Trying to get past.
Yeah, I take it back. Why should Jess let him through? Right. Why should she let him through?
Paid her money to build the grid.
She is racing for position, so I take it back, Jess. Good on you for racing. Although actually she looks like she's waving him through now. But you know, she wants to finish this race in one piece and get rid of that weight. And getting involved in a needless scrap with a faster car probably wouldn't be the right thing to do.
Could end up with damage. I'm not saying Ollie would do a lunge, but you know, with a competitive pass, that is always a possibility. Ingram, Hill, Butcher, second, third and fourth. Ash Sutton next up. Dan Camish still hanging in there, but now starting to be reeled in a little bit by Adam Morgan. So Morgan looking for sixth position from seventh at the moment. Can he climb up anymore? Through goes Senna Proctor. Proctor's on his own. Michael Crease leads the Jack Sears Trophy at the moment. Actually, by some way, the cars that are behind him, not in that. Stephen Jelly is chasing Chris Smiley. And Creasy's going to have his thoughts on the Jack Sears Trophy as we head towards Brands. Try and close in on Carl Bordley, who's running second in this. So Bordley's not going to lose too many points in this one in the Jack Sears Trophy.
No, hopefully not. But Creasy getting involved in a good little battle here. Jelly fighting through. Quite a good track for the rear-wheel drive BMW.
Here he comes out of Murray's onto the centre straight once again. And heading towards the last lap, onto the grid lines we go. Onto his last lap, so Colin Turkington looking very good here.
Yeah, one more lap, he's going to bring this home. He'll be very pleased with the way this weekend has started. He'd have been worried about an hour and a half ago about the track conditions looking half and half, but fortunately it dried out enough for him to have confidence in his slicks, and he survived that first lap where he was most vulnerable and has driven an impeccable race since then.
Superb stuff for him then. Fastest lap, as you said, back on lap 5, so really got once he'd got those tyres up to temperature, banged in the fast lap. 2 seconds is the gap at the moment to Tom Ingram. A little bit of a back. This is for 16th position, so it's Tom Chilton there at the moment. Sam Osborne following through, and then Jack Goff. Jack Goff's synonymous with some good results here, and Goff having a look, not quite close enough to do anything at the hairpin.
Not quite on this lap, but yep, a good track for Jack Goff, as we remember from the past.
His first win here. I think he's had 2 wins here, and stellar drive last year. We'll hopefully have a chance to chat to him about that a little bit later on. But here is Colin Turkington on his way towards another win down the Bentley Straight, formerly known as the Revit Straight, and well cleared. 2.6 seconds on the last lap. Fastest lap to add to the pole position. A perfect opening to the weekend here in Norfolk for the Northern Irishman.
Yeah, absolutely perfect, and Ingram's going to take that second after Jake gave it back to him. Probably the correct thing to do at the end. There's that battle between Camish and Morgan. Morgan is a little bit closer, but Camish looks to have enough in hand to just get to the flag, if barring any mistakes.
Looks that way. Race leader heading round to the final corner of the final lap of the first race here of the penultimate event of the season. Colin Turkington, smooth as ever, fast as ever, comes up the straight, and we'll see the checkered flag to take the win and put him right back, even more in contention for the championship. Turkington, delighted, of course, rightly so, takes the win. Great drive from pole position. Tom Ingram in second. Jake Hill completes the podium. A tie on points at the top of the table. Turkington and Sutton tied on 2.72. Dan Camish third from Tom Ingram and Rory Butcher. Tom Oliphant 6 ahead of Tom Chilton. Then it's Matt Neal, Jake Hill and Adam Morgan completing the top 10.
Here we go for race 2.
Round 24, about to get underway. Lights are on. Off they go. Colin Turkington away. Rory Butcher this time, the total antidote to his start last time out, makes a cracker. So Butcher making progress. There's Adam Morgan jinking up towards the inside line, but it's Turkington leading. Butcher challenging for second place, but has to contend with third. Then it's Dan Camish going through. Morgan on the inside line, but that's a good fast start from Butcher. A
terrific start as well from Turkington, but it was Jake Hill who was absolutely swamped at off the start and round turn 1.
He was, he's got work to do. He said that top 5 would be good for him, and now we've got Butcher putting big pressure on Tingram at the moment for second position, and this again will be great for Turkington. If there's a battle behind him, it will give him a chance to get those tyres up to temperature and start to pull away.
Yeah, but Ingram knows, look at Turkington's having to defend. He's still being careful with those cold tyres, so Ingram's still trying really hard on this first lap.
Let's see what Ingram can do. They come out of Agostini, through into Hamilton, up towards Oggigs, the next corner. Butcher all over the back. The Focus is having a look. The Ford goes to the outside line here. Might be able to go for the cutback if there's going to be a gap. There isn't. There's a little tag on the back, though.
Yeah, Turkington, we know from race one it takes him a lap and a half to really get up. He's just defending for all he's worth, and perhaps into the complex at the end. The Brundle-Nelson chicane is the last opportunity. After that, he'll have his tyres up to temperature.
Let's see if he can hold on to it. It's a wide, confident line. He doesn't really seem under threat from the language of the car coming into Brundle, and he holds on to it, and you can see Ingram still under pressure from Butcher. Next up is Ash Sutton up in the mix as well, so Sutton making progress. Let's see whether he can pile the pressure on as well.
Yeah, early part of this race shows that Sutton's got intense, doesn't he? He's got intention. He can see his championship rival leading the race, and he doesn't want to lose any more points to him.
On board with Butcher. This is the third place car. Tom Ingram right in front of us here. Ingram trying to hunt down Colin Turkington in lead position. Butcher, great start this time around. Let's see if he can do it. Now we've got a yellow flag out somewhere. Now why is that? Who went off?
Somebody off at turn one, I should think, from the first lap. That's a shame, because Ingram had an absolutely mega exit from Murray's. He was inch perfect through the corner, and he felt the need to defend into Riches, which is a shame because he's lost distance to Turkington. And look, Butcher looking round the outside. That's opened the door for Sutton on the inside.
Yeah, Sutton doesn't need a second invitation to come up, and he's having a good go. Here we go, Butcher on the outside line, coming down to Palmer. Sutton will hang it out. No, he won't. He'll go back in and maybe go for the run on the inside down into Agostini, if he can do that, if he can get the run. But the Motorbase car goes across, grabs the line on the inside, and it's Turkington still leading. Ingram second, Butcher in third place, but now Camish is coming up to join in.
Yeah, this is a great battle. This is what we like to see in race two, when the heavier cars have everyone up behind them, progressively lighter cars behind them, and Turkington's not running away at the moment.
No, he's not having it all his own way, so the ballast doing its job to even things out and give us some great racing. Camish looking a bit sharper here, and we've got this classic battle really now with Camish and Ash Sutton together there. Jake Hill in behind trying to hold on. Look at the reaction from Sutton here. Oh.
He's saying don't defend, he's saying get on with staying behind the cars in front. Sam Osborne gets a bit of a slide on, coming through the corner, a little bit wide. Rear tyres perhaps just a trifle cold, or he's got the car set up a little bit loose. Tom Chilton got a verbal warning actually after race one his contact with Stephen Jelly.
OK, so he'll take that on board and then just get on with the job in hand, which is what he'll do.
You mean he'll ignore it? Is that what taking it on board means? He'll ignore that.
In one ear, out the other.
Verbal wall bang, forget it. Didn't happen.
Yeah, my teenager's like that. He'll be watching this as well. I'll get that in the deck when I get home. Sutton, though, carrying on and still trying. Let's go back on board with Butcher. Third place here. Charging down into Agostini. If he was going to make a dive, he'd be left of shot, looking down the inside line of Ingram, but he can't. Now, at the moment, Turkington, 0.5 a second at the end of that last lap. Not really developing. He's got the extra ballast on for this race, so not getting away as quickly as in race one.
No, and Camish, the fastest lap on the last lap, and he's in fifth place. So there he is. He's getting a nice little toe off the cars in front. He's a little bit lighter, but there's nothing in it. This is a great onboard shot, and I look at the precision of Ingram, how close he is to the tyres. When he gets to the curbs, how close he is to the raised part of the curb. It's great viewing.
Yeah, superbly set up race this, with more ballast for the race winner and the others just swapping places, and Camish looking handy there and actually starting to put Sutton under a little bit of pressure. There is Michael Crees chasing Jackson at the moment. So Michael with his ballast on. I can't recall if he's had ballast before. He probably has.
Yeah, but track looking nice and dry everywhere, so no damp patches or anything now. It's perfectly raceable. They can use the whole width of the road. Sutton just taking a little breather, didn't he, on that last lap?
Yeah.
Whether that signal for him to Butcher to put the pressure on Ingram, it appears to have worked actually, because Butcher is a bit closer.
Yeah, by not driving right at him, it just sort of sends a message that he should be cleared to have a little go. Tom Ingram, who is out front, and Butcher starting to have a look there. He's just coming offline, back on board with the race leader. Again, that superb concentration. Butcher, though, right with Ingram, as you say now. That did seem to work for Sutton. Camish right up with him as well. Then it's Jake Hill. Adam Morgan 7th. Morgan's got the fastest lap.
Oh, that's not a place to pass through that little kink there. But he tries, maybe he's just trying to upset Ingram.
So Butcher is still there. Tom Ingram, I think, is being closed on again. The gap went out to 9/10, so Turkington again has chipped away. Still Morgan with the fastest lap. 1 second first to second. Ingram to Butcher is 3/10, and then Camish not far away as well. Jake Hill's got Adam Morgan right behind him as well. Morgan from Cook, then Proctor. On board now with Matt Neal.
Matt Neal down in 14th place, and he's got no weight on, so you know he should be able to make progress again here. But he's up behind an identical FK8 Honda, the BTC racing car of Michael Crease.
Creasey's still the leading Jack Sears Championship driver for those who have not had an overall podium. Bordley second in the Jack Sears Trophy at the moment, and Sam Osborne running third. Out of the newcomers, Jessica Hawkins ahead of Paul Rivette at the moment. I think Paul might have had a moment on the first lap, looking back further down the order.
Yeah, fair play to Jessica. She's in 24th place, but ahead of Paul Rivette. Ethan Hamilton's in 22nd, and Geddes in 21st.
Yeah, altogether the returnees and newcomers, which is good to see.
Oh, Sutton's very close now, isn't he?
Couldn't get that logo any closer to that camera if he wanted to. That'll please the sponsors and it'll please the fans, because it means that we've got a battle underway here. Turkington across the line again. The gap's out to over a second now. Turkington, Ingram, Butcher, Sutton, Camish, Hill, Cook. Morgan next up, Adam Morgan. Fastest lap now with Colin Turkington. Lap 6, 1:57.669 to the race leader. Extra point available for him.
Yeah, well, that just shows you the BMW's getting more temperature in its tyres. It takes a long time, doesn't it, in these conditions? And Turkington now the fastest man track. In fairness, Ingram set his fastest lap on the last lap as well, only a couple of tenths slower.
So all gunning for it at the front. The positions are staying the same, but it's a game of cat and mouse between all of them. Butcher trying to close in. Matt Neal collision, we're being told.
Oh, well, actually, it was Crease hitting Oliphant, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Matt
Neal was just behind.
So you tend to be waiting for mistakes, and none of these drivers really are of the calibre where they're going to make regular mistakes for sure. And this is a car problem or an unsettling problem or something like that. You mentioned the tyres are lasting, so that's not going to happen. We've got what we've got.
Yeah, we've got what we've got, but usually there's sort of some cars are stronger in some areas of the track than others, but we're not seeing it at the moment. Oliphant.
Chris Smiley is the man defending at the moment from Oliphant. Let's see what he can do. So the 22 car will hold on. Matt Neal right there as well.
Oliphant with a ding in the door. That was Michael Crease a bit earlier, which let Matt Neal through.
That is a dent and a crease in the door, isn't it? Literally. Yeah. So here we go with
on board with Matt Neal. Look at the amount. That's not. Oh, that's a late lunge. Oh, how did he get out of that and avoid contact? It's such a difficult place to pass that. In the car, you think it must be on because you're only sort of lightly braking. So you just think, if I ease off a bit, the guy in front I must get through, but you can't. What's happening now? Camish is nudging the back of Sutton.
Yeah, Camish looking to want to have a little bit of a play now, so giving Sutton a little bit of a moment to let him know that he is there. Jake Hill coming up into the mix as well. Josh Cook. Is Josh Cook going to tag himself on the back of this group as well? Off goes Jack Goff.
Oh, where's he gone off? He's hit the barrier somewhere.
He has. Looks like heavy damage on that. So, moment on the dirt. Bang.
Oh,
nasty hit.
That is a nasty hit. Got a wheel on the wet grass and it turned him across the road all the way into the barrier. Safety car has been scrambled.
Yeah, Colin Turkington's 3.6 second lead is going to come to naught now.
It is, but we've only got one lap to go. They've worked very well to get that quickly moved.
That's a great illustration, isn't it, of a driver getting ready.
He's gone.
He's gone. Yeah, he saw it in the eyes just the moment he pegged it.
Yeah.
Superb restart. So
he's left them for dead.
He has left them. Superb restart there. So We think, at the moment, 1 lap to go, and it's Colin Turkington who nails the restart, comes out of Murray's corner. Ingram second, Butcher third, Sutton still fourth, Camish next up, as they were before the Jack Goff instigated safety car. Now we've got Bordley and Crease together. That's for the lead of the Jack Sears Trophy, so battle going on 14th, 15th, but up front, Turkington and Ingram.
And this is the final lap. This is the final lap, so it's a 1 lap dash.
Down to there. Oh, contact on the back of Ingram by Butcher. Ingram comes back on the outside line. Ash Sutton's got up the inside as well.
Well, this is what Ash Sutton was hoping for all the way through the race. Finally, Butcher's hit Ingram hard enough to give him an opportunity. That might be not be the last of that either for Butcher.
May well be not. So here they come now. Ash Sutton has made it up onto a provisional podium. Turkington is away. Camish on the inside line as well. Camish challenging on the inside of Rory Butcher. Is he going to go through? He's got the line. Just leans on him a little bit as they come out of Agostini and will complete the job going through Hamilton.
They're side by side as they go through Hamilton. But Butcher stays on the track and will have the inside for Oggies.
Incredible stuff on board with Butcher. We can see now Ash Sutton starting to get away, down into Williams, then onto the Bentley straight. Well, Butcher holding on to it. Good racing between the pair.
Butcher's car doesn't look 100%, does it? So we had to wait the whole race for something to happen, and it happened on the 1 lap dash.
Didn't expect that to happen, but these boys are all after their points, and they're all crucially still in decent point scoring positions. Ash Sutton now all over the back of Tom Ingram and looking for second place through Bombhole down towards Coram for the last time. Can he do it?
I'm not sure, but second would be a lot better than third for the points. He wants every point he can get.
20 to 15 the points scored in this race. Turkington to Ash Sutton, piling the pressure on as they come up into Murray's. I don't think he's going to do it. He won't have the run to the flag. Ingram has sucked up all the pressure so far through the race. Here comes Turkington to bag the 5th win of the 2020 campaign. Turkington takes the checkered flag. Second place to Tommy. Delighted again is Colin Turkington. After the second race of the weekend here at Snetterton, Colin Turkington ekes out a 7-point lead over Ash Sutton. Dan Camish third, a further 20 back from Tom Ingram. Then Rory Butcher and Tom Oliphant. 7th place Tom Chilton ahead of Jake Hill. 9th is Matt Neal. The top 10 completed by Josh Cook. Engine notes rise, 5-second board goes away, so the red lights are on now. And we're underway here. Super start by Adam Morgan, gets away very well indeed. He's going to outtrack Smiley down into turn 1, he does. And Ollie Jackson goes through as well. So Smiley down to third, make that 4th position because Josh Cook goes through as well. Smiley in 4th as they head round turn 1. Dan Camish is next up, good start.
Yeah, Smiley will be kicking himself, the car bogging down on the line, and both Morgan and Jackson jumping him.
Into the hairpin for the first time, so Jackson has got the whiff of a career win number 2 in his nostrils at the moment. Jake Hill going out wide there, gets back on track. Josh Cook side by side with Dan Camish, so through they all come. Let's watch progress as well. Turkington up ahead of Tom Oliphant. So Turkington looking to try and make progress side by side for the lead as they come down to Agostini. Super sight here, but Morgan in the Mercedes has got the inside. And Jackson looking at a motor-based car on the outside line. Side by side here, they're going to take each other out to the outer recess of the track, up to Hamilton, but it's the Mercedes on the inside.
Oh, and look at Jackson round the outside. He pulled it off. Brave move.
Ollie Jackson now, Smiley back up into 3rd place. Josh Cook side by side with Dan Camish. This is a classic race 3 scenario. Rory Butcher coming up in the mix as well. Dan Camish looking to have a go through. Camish sideways, little punt on tap there from Cook.
Well, Camish and Cook were fighting it out throughout half of that lap. Cook's got major damage to the left front, look, and inevitably it ended up in a big old crunch coming through Williams onto the back straight.
Yeah, 66 is cooked at the moment by the look of the car. Ingram in the mix there as well on the inside line as Cook now about to be challenged by Oliphant, who, remember, started this one in 11th place, so just outside the grid reversal. Dan Camish trying to get position back from him there. But what a first lap by Ollie Jackson coming through. Adam Morgan after grabbing the lead into P2. Chris Smiley's still there in third place. Probably isn't going to thank me for tipping him, is he now? Down in third.
No, but I tell you what, Ollie Jackson, a fantastic first lap, and you're absolutely right. He knows he's capable of winning a British touring car race now, and he's off.
He's away, isn't he? So Adam Morgan, second position. Chris Smiley will challenge him for third. Rory Butcher next up. Ash Sutton, Jake Hill, Tom Ingram, Colin Turkington 8, Dan Camish 9th, Matt Neal into the top 10. So Neal challenging hard as well. And a typically frenetic third reverse grid opening race. Cook is still trying to get... oh dear, off goes a bit of bodywork. Not a happy-looking car for Josh Cook.
No, Turkington's made up 2 places, up into 8th place. Sutton's made up 3 places into 5th.
This is what they need to do. It's not necessarily going to be about the win, much as they would love to do that. They just need to make up places. Hill down the inside line here, challenging Tom Ingram. So the Toyota goes wide, and it looks like Jake Hill's got the inside run here as they come up to Hamilton Corner. But are we going to see Ingram? I thought he might do an Ollie Jackson and try and hang it out on the outside.
That was a great pass by Ollie Jackson. That's got to be Sam Osborne, I think, because we've seen Jake Hill just go through. But that was a terrific pass by Ollie Jackson, because normally the car on the outside has to concede to the car on the inside. And a driver as strong as Morgan, you'd expect him to have done that. This is incident with... actually, in fairness to Cook, he was sort of moving over to protect his position and got tagged himself.
The first little tag seemed to be from Rory Butcher there, didn't it?
Yeah.
Just there. And then it all sort of plays out.
You watch, Cook comes across to try and protect his position. Well, difficult to tell, but it's first lap bunching up, isn't it? Yeah, well, but we've got... this has always been a good track for the Motorbase Fords, whether they were in the Focus RS or in the Focus ST mode. It's always been a good circuit for them, and they've got 2 cars up in the top 4.
Butcher down the inside line of Chris Smiley. Butcher up into third.
Good move, Butcher.
Superb stuff, onto a potential podium, and can now set about chasing Adam Morgan. Chris Smiley will try and follow Butcher and make the progress as well, but Smiley from pole position down there in the waved yellow, as you can see. A fair amount of detritus and mud and earth on the track.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of detritus, and there's a fair amount of mud.
Here they come down into Agostini again. Ollie Jackson's still there. Morgan second. Morgan's going to come under Butcher pressure very shortly. Let's have a little look back. Colin Turkington, 8th position at the moment, chasing Tom Ingram, and in car with the championship leader.
Yeah, he's in a good position at the moment. He's got a little bit of a gap behind him. He can sit there, not take too many risks. He's losing a few points to Sutton at the moment. You can see Sutton 3 cars in front. Look, top of the screen, Osborne gets out on the grass. And before he can get back on, he hits a dip in the grass and the splitter digs in, and that absolutely wipes out the front end of the car.
Tom Chilton here, flashing over the lights from the driving. He's not leading. Glyn Geddy is leading the Jack Sears Trophy class at the moment, Tim.
On board with Sutton. He's the next one lining up behind Smiley. Sorry to jump in there, but he's looking very much like he wants to get a move on here. Let's watch them up the straight. Both these cars are Toka-powered engines, the Swindon Toka-Power, pretty even up the straight.
Let's see what Sutton's going to do. Is he going to get enough momentum to have a look up the inside? Doesn't look like it at the moment. Smiley on the brakes.
He's trying to set him up for a move up the inside here. Look, he's got a good run here. If Smiley doesn't defend, he does defend. He saw him coming up. Meanwhile, Butcher's attacking Morgan for second.
Yeah, side by side for second as they come out of the hairpin. Morgan's going to have the run on the inside line down to Palmer. Gives him a little bit of a rub to let him know. Butcher returns the favour with a little tap on the back end as they come through Palmer now, very slightly downhill in towards Agostini. Super stuff.
Yeah, Morgan was looking in his right-hand mirror thinking, you're not coming across, mate. I'm not having that. And now he parks it in the middle of the road behind Sutton, looking again at Smiley, but hasn't got through. Jake Hill's got the fastest lap time behind Sutton.
He's got 36 kg of ballast still on board, doesn't he, Jake? So he's going to be very, very pleased with that. Morgan's still in P2, but Butcher piling on the pressure at the moment. He's free to do that because he's got space behind him. He's not being pressured by anyone at the moment, Rory Butcher. Jackson's got to wait. Just under a tenth of a second is the lead at the moment. But if Butcher wants to catch his teammate, he's going to have to get past fairly sharpish.
Yeah, he is, but it's a good even battle. This has still got some way to go yet, but Jackson's doing everything he needs to do. He probably would have liked to have stretched it out a little bit if there was a bit more fighting behind him.
Through they come then, so Adam Morgan still there at the moment in the Mercedes, so Mercedes versus Ford battle. Ford out front at the moment. Chris Smiley still in 4th position, Ash Sutton still in 5th. Incident from earlier on. Oh, Carl Borden and Stephen Jelly coming together.
Oh no, the 2 1 Series cars going off.
Let's have a look at it from another angle. It looks like, oh, Borden just getting into the back end. To be fair, he did back out of it eventually.
Yeah, he did, and it's just one of those things, isn't it? But I'm not going to apportion a blame on that one, but Borden was certainly the car behind that was trying to get through. So draw your own conclusions. I'm amazed Cook's car's still running with all that damage.
Yeah, he's doing well, isn't he? And now Butcher to the outside line here. This is at the hairpin, so he'll go and tuck back in, but that gives him the outside line for Palmer if he draws level, or he could try and slingshot it down here through Palmer and maybe make a move up the inside into Agostini. But of course, Morgan's going to have that covered. Here they come now through Palmer. Downhill run on this relatively new piece of tarmac. This was the addition to Snetterton a few years ago. Morgan covering. Let's see whether Butcher can make a late lunge. Not close enough to do it.
No, well, this is the sort of fighting that Ollie Jackson wants to see going on in his mirror, because every time that Morgan defends, he doesn't take the ideal line, slows himself up a little bit. It's another 10th for him.
Oh, big contact Ingram, and the meat in the sandwich there was Ash Sutton. The outside line was Chris Smiley. Jake Hill in the mix as well. Has a moment on the grass, loses the pace. Turkington's through. Cavish is on the outside of Turkington.
Wow, it's all kicked off there. I think we had Sutton, Smiley and Ingram side by side at one point. Jake Hill was wide on the grass and fortunate to get back on without a similar fate that befell his teammate, Sam Osborne, with the front end digging in. But that all got very busy for a while. Turkington was right there as well. And it's just this sort of situation that could affect a Turkington or Sutton championship-wise.
Sutton still chasing Smiley, and significantly Sutton has got Turkington right behind him. That is big news for the championship.
Well, it's good news for Turkington, isn't it?
Yeah,
because he hardly loses any points at all. He's already 7 points in front, and he doesn't want that to be reduced.
Here comes the race leader, Ollie Jackson, still there. Jake Hill still with the fastest lap. The gap was 1.251 seconds at the moment from Jackson to Morgan and Butcher. Gap back to Tom Ingram, who looks relatively settled in 4th. Here's Turkington's view of the last incident.
It's coming down towards the Agostini hairpin, and oh, look, it was Sutton trying to get up the inside. He then ran wide, and then you've got Turkington, Sutton and Ingram all together, and then Turkington actually ended up running into the back of them. There was nowhere for him to go. They were side by side still on the way down to Oggies.
A Sutton Sarnie there. We had a Bobby Thompson roll last time, and a Sutton Sarnie this time out. It's it's all action though, isn't it, out there? Let's see whether Sutton can finally get past Chris Smiley, still piling the pressure on. And of course Colin Turkington right behind as well. Points limitation here for Turkington, looking good. Is he going to have a look? Certainly harrying Sutton, but Sutton won't be worried about that at all. Smiley still holds on right behind the #1 car. Of course it's Dan Camish. He wants to get stuck in as well.
Well, he'd like the two of them to fly off the road, really. That would be perfect for him, wouldn't it? Pick up a few points and have the two of them suffer. But Smiley's driving such a defensive race here. This is one of those ones where you just know something's going to give sooner or later. Sooner or later, something's got to give.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. And we're just, of course, now into the halfway stage of this 3rd race here at Snetterton. Onto the Bentley straight they go once again. Hill's still got fastest lap, running in 9th place, up ahead of Matt Newell's trying to close in. Turkington takes a different line here. Has he got enough momentum to have a look up the inside? He hasn't. He switches back, goes to the outside line to try and grab the quickest line through the corner. Look how close he's running to Sutton. Still can't get past Chris Smiley. But as you say, you're just waiting for something to go off. Maybe Smiley will go wide and let them all through and get hung out to dry. Or it might end in tears for a few drivers. Yeah,
I think that was Turkington just ducking out into a bit of fresh air and sort of protecting the inside. Oh, now he's got the inside. First time Sutton's had a real chance. He's going to go through the inside. This is going to compromise Smiley as well. Smiley cuts back. Turkington's going to be fastest off the corner. He might get both of them.
He's having a go. Turkington coming through, and Colin Turkington is going to try and make it down. Well, Sutton lost out there. Here they come, but it's still Smiley in front.
Well, I don't know how Smiley stayed there, but Turkington crucially got in front of Sutton.
Yeah, so important for him, isn't it? And Jake Hill's still in the mix as well. But Chris Smiley doggedly hanging on.
Absolutely, dogged is the right word. You know, Sutton got through and he just lunged up the inside into the final corner. But normally you're so slow off the corner if you do that, they mug you on the straight. But somehow Smiley's still there.
Let's see if Colin Turkington can make it past as we ride on board with Ash Sutton again. Now with a different view, it's the rear end of the Dan Camish Honda. So Sutton trying hard and Turkington through.
Turkington's got round Smiley somehow. Smiley must have made a small mistake because Turkington, you don't normally get round the outside of a car either side, in fairness, on that short straight. So Turkington, his aggression has paid off in this race. An un-Turkington-like race, some would say. But he's managed to get to the front of that pack, get through on Smiley when others haven't been able to.
Doing exactly what he needs to do. He could probably fancy a safety car now so that he can maybe close up on Tom Ingram, because there's a huge gap back from Ingram as these guys have been fighting, slowing each other up. Let's have a look at the replay.
So this is Turkington up behind Smiley. Oh, Smiley went a little bit wide. Whether there was a little touch, I don't know, but he managed to get through. And Sutton and Camish have gone through as well on Smiley.
Wow, so it was the inside line on the exit of Palmer where the gap was. Replay again. Oh!
That's why Smiley's gone. Here at the front, we've now got Jackson, Morgan and Butcher really close together.
Yeah, this is closed up, isn't it? Because the gap that Jackson had was 1.2 seconds. Morgan's closed it up 2/10 now, and Butcher. So it's a three-way battle for lead position here in our third race of the weekend. Coming down into Wilson hairpin again. Tom Ingram still running in fourth, picking up good points. Here comes Colin Turkington. So Turkington from Sutton, then Dan Camish, Josh Cook is next up, then Jake Hill. Spectacular stuff. Then it's Proctor, Moffat next up. Moffat having a decent run, has gone up to 11th place.
Ingram fastest of anybody on that last lap in fourth place. Ingram released a little bit, has now set the fastest lap of the race.
He has, hasn't he? I don't know how well he'll be able to close up, but we've got a close battle for the lead on again. So Rory Butcher chasing hard, but closer to the race leader at the moment is Adam Morgan. But it's Ollie Jackson who is soaking up the pressure at the moment. He's lost a little bit of that lead. It was 1.2 seconds, down to 2/10. We're into the last third of this race, and he's still got some pressure to soak up here over the remaining 4 laps.
Well, we saw him do that admirably at Silverstone, so we know he can soak up the pressure. If Butcher gets on the back of Morgan, that will help him. The fact there are 2 cars behind him is a good thing for him, because if Butcher can get there, it'll just distract Morgan enough to stop him attacking Jackson.
Morgan looks the happier of the two at the moment, really harrying him, so we'll see whether Jackson can hold on. Butcher needs to get up into the mix as well as if he can in that third place. Still that big gap back to Ingram in fourth, but as you said, got the fastest lap, so might start to reel them in, but a very close battle for lead position here as they go through these S's once again. Jackson still soaking it up. What do you think is the best place that Morgan maybe has strength here, Tim?
It'll be a dive on the brakes into one of the hairpins, Wilson or Agostini, really. The Ford is a quick car on the straights, always has been. The Mount Tune engine is a good engine, and the car is a slippery shape. You can see there the gap he pulls out on the straight, so it's going to have to be a little lunge into one of these tight corners.
Maybe a bit too far back to do it on this corner. Thinks about having a look, and it's Jackson still there at the moment. Rory Butcher trying to close up again and put the pressure on the second place man, which will in turn relieve the pressure on the race leader, his teammate, third place man's teammate, as they head through Hamilton again, up towards Oggies once again.
But you know that Butcher wants to make this a Motorbase 1-2 if he can.
Yeah, for sure. Past Osborne Stricken car on the right-hand side of shot just a few moments ago, and it's Jackson still there, Morgan.
Turkington and Sutton are still in 5th and 6th place, nearly a couple of seconds between them, but they're in sort of clear air, if you like. But it does mean that points-wise, Turkington, there he is going to gain a little more of an advantage over Sutton going into Brands Hatch if they finish like this.
We're going to see a 5th title for Colin Turkington. He's certainly setting himself up well after disappointment on the end of the meeting at Croft. Clear here of Ash Sutton, who hasn't looked the happiest. He's still bagged some decent points, Ash Sutton, this weekend, and that's what you have to do in these sorts of championships as the leaders come through again. And Butcher looking a little bit more threatening now.
Yeah, definitely. But, you know, going back to that championship battle, at the moment we're looking at a situation where Turkington has outscored Sutton in all 3 races and survived the carnage of this 3rd race where things could have gone wrong.
You just never, ever know what's going to happen, as we know from last year's finale, and it looks like we're setting ourselves up for another good one. Still on board with Butcher, 3rd position, chasing hard, wants to try and take that 2nd position away from Adam Morgan and make it a 1-2 for the motor-based team. Here they come. Up across the line again. Tom Ingram. What's his Tom Ingram closing up? Fastest lap he's really latching onto this battle now.
He's 58. 58. He's nearly 8-9 tenths of a second quicker on that lap. So Ingram is coming fast.
Lap 10 of 12, so it is late doors, but if he can, he will. Another driver to have scored well, of course, this weekend as the Matt Neal comes down towards us. Michael Kreese is back at the head of the Jack Sears Trophy. He's past Glyn Geddy, who's running 2nd in class at the moment. Carl Bordley 3rd, for those who follow the Jack Sears Trophy running. But back with our leaders, of course, rightly, and Butcher still piling on the pressure. Jackson having a little bit of respite at the moment.
What I like about Ollie Jackson is that when he's out in front, he doesn't go super defensive. We saw it at Silverstone. He drives his normal racing line, and that means that the car behind has got to be significantly quicker somewhere on the brakes somewhere to get past. The moment you defend, you compromise yourself, and Ollie doesn't do that. That's what I like about him.
It's a mark of confidence, isn't it, as well? He's not getting all they're coming up on me and just going away.
I must defend.
Yeah.
None of that. No, he just knows that the fastest way round the track for him is to stick to his line.
That 10 of 12, Butcher dropping back a little bit. Again, the distance between the cars on board is accentuated a little bit by the camera, and you'll see when we get back to our outfield cameras, they come down now into the Brundle-Nelson complex, that gap will be closer. Great shot of him going down the gears. There is Butcher still in 3rd place. Brakes glowing here again as they did last time out. Good job it's not high summer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and traditionally, Dan Camish, the hardest man perhaps on the brakes, with his looking very hot indeed, as they were at Croft, but apparently there was no problem. We're seeing it on other cars in the fading light here as well.
Spectacular shot nonetheless, and now it's closing up for the lead again. So coming on to the penultimate lap very shortly, and Ollie Jackson coming under pressure once again as they come across the line. What's the gap going to be? It was, well, it's pretty academic really. It was 0.283 seconds last time, 0.291, so a little bit further up. And now Ingram is starting to really reel them in. This could very soon be 4 cars for the lead. Look at Ingram in the back.
Well, it's another 3/4 of a second, and that gap isn't 3/4 of a second, so he's going to be on them by the end of this lap, and he'll have 1 lap to try and do something. That's Ingram I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's going to change the complexion potentially, because Butcher is going to have to start looking in his mirrors to a little extent at Ingram. So the last podium slot very much up for grabs here, and it's Ollie Jackson. That superb move that he did at the start of the race, it was Adam Morgan who got the run out. Again, here comes Colin Turkington. Ash Sutton still running in 6th position. Dan Camish next up, Josh Cook, Jake Hill coming through. Side-by-side bit of running here as well. Aidan Moffat on the outside line, and Senna Proctor, nearly said Mark Proctor, Senna Proctor just keeping the better of him.
Mark Proctor's definitely retired now. He watches from the garage. Moffat's put him a little bit wide and got through. Will Proctor retaliate? No, he's got through.
Moffat having a good run, was non-classified in the previous race, so right the way through from the back of the grid. Morgan's having a look, getting closer, but again that characteristic Jackson line, hardly defensive at all, was he?
No, it's just about Morgan is right on his boot lid. He's got 1 more lap to survive at the end of this one, and he's getting a little bit ragged, a little bit of a slide going through bomb hole there for Ollie Jackson. Just keep it all together. One of my favourite images from this year is his father Paul leaping up and down at him winning at Silverstone and embracing David Bartram. The emotion of it just captured everything that's great about touring car racing.
Jackson looking for a 2nd career win onto the last lap, just under 3 miles to go for Jackson, looking for career win number 2. And of course the 33 car looking for career win number 8, Adam Morgan. Here they come down into turn 1 again. Butcher getting closer to Morgan again. This could help take the pressure off the race leader once again. Ingram trying to join them, not quite as close as we thought he was going to be as they go into the hairpin once again.
Look at that, even on the last lap, he doesn't go super defensive. Top driving by Ollie Jackson.
So Jackson still out front. What can Morgan do? Is there anything left? Does he have any other options on this lap? Through the left-hander at Palmer.
And Jackson's got just enough to get him away from a lunge sort of distance, if you like, from Morgan, although Morgan closes up a little bit on the brakes. We're running out of places. He needs a good, clean run through the left-hand kink of Hamilton, because into Augies is another potential overtaking place. But look, he's just got enough so that he doesn't have to defend. Just keep it clean, Ollie, the remainder of this lap, and you should be able to do it.
Ingram's getting on the back of Butcher as well. At one stage, I was thinking Butcher was close enough to maybe just start to harry the second-place car of Adam Morgan, but it's Ingram that's taking the battle to him down the Bentley straight for the last time. Maybe an opportunity, still a couple of opportunities to go, but Jackson's still there. A little bit of weaving there from Butcher in third place just to get into the air. Perhaps as Ingram has a look down the inside line, not close enough to do anything. And as they come into the S's once again, it's Jackson still there.
Well, I'm not sure what all that was about with Butcher. All he seems to have succeeded in doing is putting himself off.
Yeah. Lost a big gap back from the lead duo who are coming through Coram now, and Morgan is right with the race leader. We've got two pairs for first and second, third and fourth. Ingram's having a go. Morgan getting very close indeed. Looks on the outside line here. He's going to try and get the run to the flag and tagged on the last corner. Ingram coming together with Butcher.
Well, Ingram was through, and I don't know what happened there. Whether, but it's irrelevant. All I want to say is well done, Ollie Jackson.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Ollie Jackson, on taking the win. Morgan next up, but Sutton comes through in fourth place in the end. Turkington makes it onto the podium. And Ollie Jackson takes the win. Adam Morgan supplying a lot of pressure, but has to content himself with P2. Colin Turkington, third. So two first and a third this weekend for the reigning champion and new championship leader. Ashley Sutton in fourth from Rory Butcher and Dan Camish. Josh Cook seventh from Tom Ingram. Jake Hill ninth. Aidan Moffat from the back comes through, emulating Jack Goff last year, up into 10th place. Here are the championship standings as we head to Brands Hatch. Just 9 points in it between Colin Turkington, the championship leader, and Ash Sutton in P2. Dan Camish third from Tom Ingram, and then Rory Butcher fifth from Tom Oliphant, with Adam Morgan 7th, Jake Hill 8th, Tom Chilton in 9th, and Josh Cook completing our top 10.
We have more to come after the break as we wind back to the third round of the 2019 Australian Super Truck Nationals from Winton Motor Raceway.